Right, okay, let's get started. Today, we're going to learn and in Japanese. So how to say and in Japanese. Or when you think of and, I'm guessing you'll be thinking of particle, the particle to. For example, when you want to say, I like Japanese history and anime. How would you say this in Japanese? Well, Japanese history, 日本の歴史. Anime would be anime. I like something. 好きです at the end of the sentence. So, 日本の歴史とアニメが好きです。日本の歴史とアニメが好きです。So this and will be と。How about this one? My hobbies are karaoke and reading. Hobbies. 趣味 karaoke, カラオケ and reading 読書 So 趣味はカラオケと読書です You could also say 私の趣味は But when it's apparently about yours then you could always skip the subject, right? So you can also say 趣味はカラオケと読書です So this and you're familiar with. How about this one? I am a student and 20 years old. Student, 学生, right? 20 years old in Japanese. That was something special, right? 20歳. Or you could also say 20歳, but normally we say 20歳 because it's special. But would you say 私は学生ですと20歳です。私は学生と20歳です。Would you say this? And do you think it's correct? Well, the answer is no. So we usually say I'm a student and 20 years old. It will be 私は学生で20歳です。で instead of と。So apparently there are different ways more than と how to say and in Japanese. There are actually 5 ways to say and. Particle と that's what you know. And there's also や you could also say this. And noun. Noun is names for the people or things or places. Noun plus で just like we've just seen. And depending on na-adjectives or E-adjectives, it varies. And verbs. We have to use て form. So there are different ways of saying and in Japanese. For example, particle と or や. In sentences like my hobbies are A and B. So when you're simply stating 2 or more different things. So A and B and C and D and blah, blah, blah. That's it. And then you use と or や. Or my hobby is A and yours is B. The difference between the first one and the second one is the 2 sentences combined. So 2 different things. But before and, there is a noun. So instead of just naming 2 or 3 different things, just my hobbies are blah, 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 or I like this one and this one and this one. So the second one is in a sentence or 2 sentences to put together. And then it shouldn't be と. It should be で. And na-adjectives, E-adjectives, it varies. So A is beautiful and quiet. That would be で because there is a na-adjective before and. An E-adjective, for example, cute, かわいい. And they should take KUTE instead of と or で. Finally, verbs. I do this and do that. In this situation, you have to conjugate. You have to transform verbs into different forms. Well, we have a closer look at each. So number one, particle to or ya. So the most, or the simplest one, for example, my hobbies are A and B. My hobbies are karaoke and reading. It will be 趣味はカラオケと読書です。You could also say 趣味はカラオケや読書です。When in English, it will be the same translation. My hobbies are karaoke and reading. But this implies I also have other hobbies, but I don't mention them all here. Meaning, so when you say 趣味はカラオケや読書です, the listener would think, there are some other hobbies this person has. So karaoke and 読書, just examples. But when you say 趣味はカラオケと読書です, that would be period. So karaoke and 読書. Boom. That's it. There's no other hobbies. So there is just slight difference, but it could be just and in English. Number two, noun plus de. For example, my hobby is A and yours is B. So it looks like two sentences combined. So combining two sentences and noun before and. For example, I am a student and 20 years old, which is I am a student plus I am 20 years old. So when you want to say this kind of sentence, you have to combine with de after the noun. 私は学生で20歳です。Let's look at the other examples. My hobby is karaoke and yours is reading. So this looks a bit different than my hobbies are karaoke and reading. So there's two sentences combined. 私の趣味はカラオケで、あなたの趣味は読書です。So in this situation, you have to have で。So it'll be wrong to say 私の趣味はカラオケと、あなたの趣味は読書です。So the other example. This is a book and that is a notebook. This one as well. これは本とあれはノートです。Well, you could make yourself understood, but grammatically, これは本であれはノートです。When you combine two different sentences. But there's an exception though. For example, this is a book, period. And then you're just looking around and what you're thinking. And when you want to use and as an interjection, that would be あと, you could also say this. But it's in the daily conversation, right? So this is a book. これは本です. Period. And あと that is a notebook. あれはノートです. That would be different. But usually, especially in written Japanese, これは本で、あれはノートです. Or in daily conversation as well, to combine naturally two different sentences. Number three. So na-adjective. It's basically the same as noun. So you just put de after na-adjective. After you remove na part from the original dictionary form of na-adjectives. For example, きれいな. きれいな, beautiful or clean. きれいな is a na-adjective. You first remove na and you replace it with de. And then you combine two different adjectives, two different sentences, two different nouns and adjectives and nouns. And you could say this. For example, that mountain is beautiful and quiet. It will be あの山はきれいで静かです。あの山はきれいで静かです。But when you have a look at the next example, あの山はきれいで静かでした。You might know about this grammar, but this is past tense. That mountain was beautiful and quiet. In this situation, it's actually easy. You don't have to worry about the first adjective. It's just the same, no matter what kind of tense, past tense, present tense, it's the same. the last adjective determines the whole sentence's tense. So you could only mind the last adjective. It should be past tense or present tense. So basically, combining part, de is the same, no matter what kind of tense. So, simple enough. Number 4, E-adjective. Well, E-adjective is always tricky, in my opinion. For example, A is cute and quiet. This dog is cute and quiet. Cute, kawaii. E-adjective. E-adjective. You have to put KUTE after the adjective, but don't forget to remove E. So it would be wrong to say, この犬は可愛くて. The long one, that's wrong. So you have to say, この犬は可愛くて静かです. This dog is cute and quiet. So it's also wrong to say, この犬は可愛いと静かです. I mean, yes, we do know what you mean, but naturally, you can say, この犬は可愛くて静かです. And you will sound pera pera, you will sound very fluent. Same way, summer is hot and winter is cold. Hot, 暑い is E-adjective. So you have to first remove E from 暑い and put くて to combine two sentences. So, 夏は暑くて冬は寒いです。夏は暑くて冬は寒いです。So don't say 夏は暑いくて。夏は暑くて。The last one, number 5, verbs and te form. For example, I do this and do that. I will go to Japan and eat sushi. Yum, yum. Well, I will, it says. So present tense and future tense, that's the same in Japanese, right? So it's the same. I will go to Japan and eat sushi will be 日本へ行きます。寿司を食べます. These two different sentences combined together, it will be て form. 日本へ行って寿司を食べます. Instead of 日本へ行きますと日本へ行きます。あと寿司を食べます。You will sound more perfect when you say 日本へ行って寿司を食べます。Another example. In the morning I wake up and I study Japanese. Ooh, sounds good. 朝起きます。That's a must form. 日本語を勉強します。Two different sentences combined together. 朝起きて日本語を勉強します。Well, this te forms in verbs is really, really, really important, but also really, really complicated. So we work more on verbs te form in the next class. So this time, we'll focus on the basic 4 ways of saying and. So let's just wrap up. Well, these are the examples, and I hope you can see the differences. When to use to, ya, when to use de, kute. Particle to or ya. For example, I like Japanese and English. How would you say this in Japanese? Japanese, nihongo, right? English, eigo. I like, 好きです at the end of the sentence. 日本語と英語が好きです. I like Japanese and English. And when you say 日本語や英語が好きです, what was it? So there's a difference. When you say 日本語や英語が好きです, and then you will imply that there are some other languages you like, but you just stop saying the others. You just mention the 2 examples. And the next one, noun plus de. I am Japanese and a student. Would you say 私は学生と日本人。日本人と学生。Right. 私は日本人で学生です。日本人で学生です。 would be the right one. How about this dog is energetic and cute. Energetic, full of energy. So it will be 元気な. 元気な. This dog, この犬. 元気な, na-adjective. So you just remove na, right? And put で and combine. この犬は元気でかわいいです。この犬は元気でかわいいです。How about that cat is cute and energetic? Well, energetic comes at the end, so you don't have to worry about it. You just, say blah blah this. So cute, that's かわいい. So E-adjective, you have to be careful, right? かわいい. Remove E plus くて。あの猫はかわいくて元気です。あの猫はかわいくて元気です。That will be the answer. That will be the translation. So at last, I listen to music and go to sleep. So 2 different verbs in one sentence. I listen to music. 音楽を聴く。聴きます。Go to sleep. 寝る。寝ます。The te form will be 音楽を聴いて寝ます。And then you can combine perfectly 2 different sentences. Right, that's it. So I hope you get a grip of it and you will sound more pera when you want to mean and in different situations in Japanese. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. お疲れ様でした。If you want to practice Japanese with us and meet your new classmates, you're more than welcome to join us. おかえりスクール